I'm Kenneth, a relationship coach and a psychotherapist. Every relationship is different, and every breakup is different. Work with me, and you'll get professional help on your situation. Just click on the link in the description below, or go to my website, askcraig.net. Hi there, I'm Coach Kenneth, and in this video, I'm going to be talking to you about don't settle for less. Well, if you're in a relationship, one of the aspects that you always need to be aware of is what's important to you. What is it that you want from this relationship? What is it that you expect from this partner that you're with? Now, of course, you have to be reasonable with your expectations, as they're not perfect and they're not always going to give you 100% of what you need or what you want. But if you want to be happy in a relationship, you need to have an idea of what you want. And even though during the course of a relationship that may change here and there, and things will get, go through different changes or phases, you have to have an idea of what it is that you're looking for and what is going to be a deal breaker for you, what's going to make you happy, what you ultimately know will or will not work for you. And you don't want to settle for less. And if you settle for less than what is going to make you happy, you're ultimately not going to be happy. And there's no reason to be in a relationship if you're not going to get your needs met and you're not going to be happy. And you always want to keep in mind that you don't get what you deserve in life. You get what you negotiate. So you need to be aware of what's important, what you can compromise, what you will not compromise in a relationship. Now, this goes especially for you ladies out there that are looking to settle down and have children, especially when you're at that age where you want to have a family. And the reason I'm saying this is, let's be honest, and let's, look at this, from a broad perspective here. A woman has a biological clock that a man simply doesn't have. Men can have children up until their 80s, probably, right? If they biologically wanted to, not that they should, but they could have children when they're much, much older. Women, when they get to their 30s and their late 30s, they are putting themselves at risk to have children. And of course, that's not to say, I'm not trying to be judgmental or anything. I'm just looking at the biological facts that once a woman gets to around 40, she is at risk, and the child that she's pregnant with is at risk. There's a lot of health risks once a woman gets up there in age. So my point is this, ladies, if you're at an age where you're in your 30s and you are ready to have a family, and this guy is dragging his feet, you might want to consider moving on or letting them know, look, this is what I need. If you are not able to give that to me, let's be upfront and honest about this, because I really want somebody who can provide that for me, and you don't want to be wasting your time. And some of these guys will keep wasting your time. So, I got 2 emails today. One of them is just a short email that they wanted to share their thoughts with us. So they said, "Hey Craig, I know this isn't a breakup success story, more of a preventative one. My girlfriend, as in a female friend, was going through a breakup, and she recommended your channel to me because my husband and I were having major problems. Quite honestly, we were on the verge of splitting up. So last month I started watching your videos and was really loving your videos. My husband reluctantly agreed to watch 5 of my choice." Well, that's a lot of pressure. He only lets you choose 5? "I took some time and found some that I thought might help us. He actually liked them. We made a deal that we will listen to your videos every day. We both have a drive time where we can listen, no problem, for about 30 to 40 minutes, for 3 months. Next month we plan on each doing a separate Skype with you as well. But we wanted to just say thank you. You are changing thousands of lives every day." Well, that's really encouraging to hear, and I'm glad you and your husband are starting to see things more clearly in your relationship. And I love to see that you are being proactive before an actual breakup or a marriage falling apart. So that's great, and I look forward to Skyping with you guys. It'll be great. I'll get to hear both of your perspectives, and that'll be interesting to hear. So, thank you for the very kind words. I'm really glad to hear that things are getting better between you guys. And hopefully you can share the videos with somebody that you know is having relationship problems as well. Because my goal is to truly help as many relationships as I can. And it is much easier to do from a preventative situation. So when you guys have friends and families that they're telling you they're having marriage problems or relationship problems, share the videos with them, and hopefully it will give them some insight into educating them and teaching them what is going on in their relationship, maybe some communication issues. My guess is that probably some anxiety is going on, causing one partner to lash out and lose emotional self-control, and the other one's getting frustrated. And hopefully the understanding of attachment styles and stuff like that can really help them. So maybe you could pass it on to somebody like they did for you. So I have a second email that is from a woman in her early 30s dating a guy who's in his late 30s, and they've been together for about a year and a half. And she said that his family was a close family. They moved with the family to another country to escape a major war when he was in his teenage years. He's the youngest, has an older brother, and the mother is doting. He moved out at almost 30 years old. Okay. So, she said he hasn't committed after acting like a boyfriend. I walked away after I brought it up, and he mentioned that his life is a mess. I left. He immediately messaged. I responded and said I realized he doesn't see a future. He sent a long message back and explained that he is in a bad financial situation right now. He just finished school and owes a lot of money and may have to sell his home. I knew about this. Okay? So, obviously he's got some stress going on in his life outside of the relationship, but what does that have to do with you and him? If you guys are in a situation where you're getting along well and you're happy together, why doesn't he want to commit to you? I mean, it's been a year and a half. You could see why you're frustrated. I said I respect he is not in a good place and I wished him all the best. Good for you. You said, look, this has been a year and a half. You're not ready to be with me. I wish you the best, but I need more than this. He sent a message messaging all my great qualities and that he needs to sort through his stuff. Well, you better get it sorted really quick. If you value this woman, she's about to go bye-bye, and you might lose her to somebody else, and you better think about that. I said I understood and mentioned we are on different pages at this point. I agree with you. He asked why we weren't discussing this in person despite me claiming to care about him. Okay, so his feelings are hurt that you didn't do this in person, and I could understand his point there. It would have been nice that you had this conversation in person. So I agree with him there. I didn't respond. You could have responded to that. A few days later, he asked if I could go for coffee to talk about everything. Eventually, I said okay. We met. I told him that neither of us were wrong, but we each want different things, and that I can't continue or would just be hurting myself. Well, I think that you handled this like an adult here, and you're not being vindictive. You're saying, look, this is what I'm wanting. I need more. You're not willing to give it, and you're willing to part ways for that. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. If somebody isn't willing to give you what you need in the relationship, then, and you've talked about it and you've told them that, and you've given them the opportunity to correct it, sometimes you do have to move on. And that can be really hard, especially when you're attached to somebody. He was affectionate and said that maybe he is a bit scared of a commitment because of what happened with his ex. See, now I find that a little bit more honest than him saying financial problems are the reason that he can't commit. This seems more sincere. He said he takes relationships very seriously and that I would need to meet his parents if we got together. If we got together, okay? But you haven't gotten together yet, so let's not put the cart before the horse here. He kept saying, I don't want to lose you. Then do something about it, right? When I got in my car, he said, so if we really both care about each other, why don't we just do this? Yeah, you're the one that's saying no, though. He said, so you wouldn't want to be with me? I said, yes, if you want to be with me. I said, this is happening because we are in a non-relationship and I'm going to hurt myself by continuing. And I agree with you. This is not like you dated this guy for 3 or 4 months. This is a 1.5 year relationship and you need more out of this. I mean, if you're not in a commitment, that means he could be going out with a different girl every night of the week. Not to say that he is, but he could. He has the option of doing that, and I know you're not okay with that. I said that the way I move on is by not talking to someone at all and having no contact. Good for you. I agree with that. I said, well, I will leave it to you because you're the one who's hesitant to commit. Please do not contact me for little things because that's too confusing. This girl is strong. I like her attitude. Look at how she is setting boundaries, she's making it clear what she wants, and she's communicating like an adult. He said, okay, fine, let's take a step back. I know this is not goodbye, so I'm not going to say goodbye. A week and a half later, he messaged and said, hey, I know I'm breaking your rule, but I wish you all the best in the beginning and happy move day. If you need any help, just let me know. I responded and said, thank you, I appreciate that. You thought of me. I'll try to manage, with a little smiley face. Immediately he responded, why wouldn't I think of you? You are awesomeness, winky face. If she's awesomeness, then why are you letting her go? But seriously, don't hesitate. I know moving can be a pain. I'm here for you. Alright, so he's really going over the top, letting you know he's there for you. But, you know, my guess is that his anxiety is really getting the best of him now. I didn't respond. Next day he called. I missed the call. I messaged and said, I saw I missed your call. What's up? You avoided that call. You saw it. You just didn't want to answer it. He said, hey, yes. Wanted to see how everything's going with the move, and I thought of you. Winky face. He didn't write winky face, by the way. He actually put a little winky face. Some of you guys might get confused. I didn't respond because he said he is not saying what he wants to move forward with this relationship. Yeah. He's reaching out when you clearly said, please don't reach out unless you want to pursue this. Okay. She asks, am I doing the right thing by not having no contact until if he is ready to commit? What is the advice about what I should do in this situation? Well, honestly, I think you're doing great. I think you have handled yourself like a champ. I think you've been honest with him about what you need. I think you've communicated very well what you're looking for, and I think you've set your boundaries clear on what you expect. You're saying, look, I wish you the best. This isn't what I want. I want to work it out, but I need a commitment. If you can commit to me, then we can explore a relationship. I think you did great. Honestly, this is one of the best emails I've gotten about someone in your type of situation, telling the partner what they need and sticking to it. And I absolutely would stay to this plan. Because if he tries to get you back without committing, you're not going to be happy. And there's no reason to get back in this relationship where you knew you weren't happy. It had been a year and a half and he couldn't commit. So I think he knows what's at stake here. And if he doesn't want to lose you, which I think he's starting to really fear because he keeps reaching out, he's going to ultimately offer that commitment because you are awesomeness. Remember? Why wouldn't he want that awesomeness? I think he does. I think he's just scared. But be patient with him. Don't put your life on hold. But in other words, I think he might try and come back slowly here and stick to your guns on what you want, what you need. Don't make him a priority unless he says to you, look, I am a little bit hesitant to do this, but I would like to move forward with this relationship. If that's what he's willing to do, take it slow, and I think you'll be okay. So, if you want to get my help personally, just go to my website, askcraig.net, sign up for the coaching option that works best for you. I do email coaching and I do Skype coaching. Be sure you put a like on the video if you enjoyed the topic. And go to my website and sign up for the newsletter. If you didn't notice the other day, the people that signed up to the newsletter got early access to Monday's video, and they got it early Sunday afternoon. So I'm going to look for different ways to give you guys incentives for being in the newsletter. So just go to askcraig.net, the bottom of the home page, just put in your email. I'm not going to spam you, and I'm going to send out an email maybe once a week or so with information that I won't have in the videos. Anyway, that's it for this video. I'm Coach Craig Kenneth, and I will talk with you soon.